Hello, my friend. Welcome to your Reiki session. This is going to be a distance energetic healing treatment, just to remind you that all is well. Out of this moment, this experience, this time in your life, maybe a challenge, out of this only good will come. Only good, good, good. Only good will come. Louise Hayes, I think, has this beautiful quote about challenging times. All is well. All is well. Out of this only good will come. You are safe and all is well. And this is something that I say to myself in times of challenge and struggle. And it really is a reminder of your most aligned self, that version of you that already knows this, that already knows that you are safe, that we tend to project issues to be pervasive, to be bigger than they are, to have a magnitude over all aspects of our life and our existence. And we give them a lot of meaning. We give these things a lot of meaning. And so this session is really just a very supportive, gentle, loving Reiki session, as usual, for just helping to soothe your soul. All is well, my dear. All is well. This is a reminder of your true nature, of who you truly are. You are safe and all is well. All is well, my dear. This is an ear-to-ear session. So hopefully you feel really relaxed by the energy that I'm sending to you, and also by the ASMR that we have. Okay. I think primarily for this session, we're going to be focusing in the mental plane, sending these loving affirmations to you. I don't want to call them affirmations. Let's just call them truths. Sharing these truths with you. As steady as your breath. So sharing these truths with you, imparting these truths with you and also to you. And also healing in the heart space. So we're going to be doing healing in the mental plane and the heart chakra. Really connecting to the divine as well. Drawing that energy down into your crown so that you feel nice and supported and like you are a column, a channel of energy. Sometimes we just have to be reminded of how connected and powerful we are, just simply by existing. I have a fluffy on my face. Okay. So I'm going to use a little bit of oil in my hands. This is jojoba oil. And I'm going to draw the sacred symbols in my palms, the sacred Reiki symbols in my palms, and we'll do our treatment. Oh, a lot of you ask me why I don't share the symbols. Can you do a video about the symbols where you share the symbols? So I've explained this before, but so I was just taught that these are sacred symbols, that they are passed between teacher and student in this beautiful Reiki lineage. And while I have no problem with other people sharing them, I just choose in my practice not to. I choose in my practice to keep that lineage sacred. And then for all of my students, that is just something that's shared between us. That's just something that's shared between us, which I think is a beautiful connection with us. If you did want to become a Reiki practitioner, become one of my Reiki students, I wanted to tell you, I am doing a Labor Day sale. So I like to do these sales just a few times a year so that you have an opportunity to sign up to become a Reiki practitioner, to learn these incredibly impactful healing techniques. So anyway, I didn't want to forget to remind you, so I'll share that, all the details of the sale down below. So I would love to have you as my student. But that's the reason why I don't share the sacred symbols here, because I really enjoy that connection between me and my, Reiki teacher and my students. It feels like a real privilege to me and an honor to be that conduit of this ancient healing. So that's why. Take a slow, deep breath, my love. I'm going to take this little essential oil pack that I have here. One thing that that I do and would recommend if you are in any way struggling with sort of feeling a little bit down, like your energy feels a little bit dull, I usually like to place some tea tree or some kind of a menthol, whether that's eucalyptus or peppermint. You could do sage. What's this one? Yeah, that's the peppermint. Some type of menthol, something in the mint family, such as tea tree, and use it with a carrier oil. Tea tree is probably my favorite essential oil. I think it's always helpful. It's uplifting, but it's also incredibly soothing. Very uplifting, very energizing. But it's also, I find it very soothing. So if I'm feeling down, it can lift me up. But if I'm feeling really anxious, it also just sort of centers and grounds me. So I love it. But I've used tea tree for most of my life. I like to place it behind my ears, just right behind my ears, in order to kind of stimulate, kind of makes me feel alert and awake. I would be really careful with putting it here, but I like to put it on my temples. Just be careful that it, if you sweat or something, or you rub your eyes, that you're not getting in your eye. But I put, putting it on in the back of your ear and in the Zeal chakra, which we did a session about recently. It's a really wonderful, that's a great sound, place to put something really energizing, lifts you, like, whoa. But that's one of my kind of tips. It even helps if you can't focus. I'm just going to place it behind your ear here. Gorgeous. Same on the other side. Gorgeous. Okay. Then I'm going to place a little bit. I could do that for a while. That's super satisfying. I'm going to place a little bit in my palms. Draw the sacred symbols. Such a unique scent, isn't it, tea tree? Breathe in for me. And again. Good job. One more time. Okay. Sometimes we labor under these illusions, and we do this for a reason. You know, sometimes we feel that they're serving us. Even if we don't want to believe them, there's this inner kind of conflict where we think that this is the right way, we think this is the truth. But in reality, we don't have to believe everything that we think. Just because we think it, just because we've been conditioned to think or believe something doesn't mean that it's true, and it doesn't mean that you have to believe it. Just because you've been doing things the way that you have doesn't mean you have to continue to do that. So there is a sense here in this session of gently kind of peeling back the layers and just looking at what's pure, what's in its essence, it's closest to its natural state. You can also look at this as, how can I make this easier? Or how can this be easier? How can this be lighter? You know, like a weight kind of just evaporating off of your shoulders, off of your chest. We often have that weight on the chest, on the shoulders. We round, we curve from that weight. The weight lands on our chest and our whole bodies curve, and then we have this hunched posture of protection, you know. So what if we can just push that back, open up, an open gesture, an open frame, an open energy, an open posture, using your physical body to extend that energetic body as an extension of that energetic body, is in a way saying, I'm safe enough to receive. I trust that what I'm receiving is good, is on behalf of my highest self. Sometimes we don't want to talk about good and bad, and I think this is really just about what is truthful, what is honest, what is here, what is you. So if you're maybe believing that you're on the wrong timeline, or things aren't happening the way they should, or if it has something to do with time and space, what I would encourage you to just do is start to think about, well, whose timeline are you on? Because the one that you're on right now, the one that you are moving through, experiencing, that's your timeline. That's your timeline. But all of them are different. So do you want to be on someone else's? Then you would be living their life. Your timeline is exactly right for you. And it's such a myth, this idea of, the should have and should be and all of this. You're on your own timeline. You are on your timeline. You are taking things at the pace in which they are rightly unfolding for you. And hey, if you start to recognize, notice, or feel that you don't enjoy this pace, this rhythm, and you start to feel like there's an undulating energy underneath and you want to take action, definitely activate the solar plexus so you can take that action, step into that place of yang energy. Yang energy. But it's important that you recognize that even your delay and consideration is part of your timeline. It's all unfolding exactly as it should, All is well. You're not losing anything because it's impossible to lose what's meant for you. So if you're scared that you're losing the life that you want, that it's in some way that it is evaporating, that life that you want is evaporating. It's not true. It's not true. It's a myth. It's not true. You are on exactly the right timeline. And there's nothing that you can do to prevent what's meant for you coming to you. Nothing that you can do. All is well. I'm going to spritz you. Crown, heart, root. Sometimes we start to compare ourselves, and this doesn't lead to feeling good. It usually doesn't lead to action, because we need to act from a place of believing that we are going to achieve what it is that we set out to achieve as human beings. That usually is the kind of like the engine that starts that motivation, is believing that it's possible for you, right? Which comparison doesn't usually do. Jealousy, comparison, they don't usually do that. But if you are comparing yourself to others, if you are feeling like, that is coming up for you, there's no sense in feeling guilty or bad about comparing yourself. It's a natural part of being a human. But what we can do instead is say, okay, there's no real point to me comparing here. For me, what this can tell me is that there's some part of where I am right now that maybe I just want to consider. Maybe I want to consider, But especially if you're on your healing journey, which I know so many of you who watch my videos are and receive this distance healing are, is that you're already on your healing journey. Comparing yourself to somebody else comparing yourself to somebody else, it's just futile, you know? It's futile. We don't need to do that. All we need to do is just be as fully and wholly ourselves as we can. But all is well. Everything is working out for your highest good. The challenges that you face are really in order to hone your skills, to clarify and specify your healing, to redirect your path. So if you can always just understand that everything that happens to you is serving you, even if it doesn't feel like it at the moment. Even if it doesn't feel like it right now, it is serving you. And also, if we start to look at our lives in that way, if we start to shift our mindset about it, then you will start to find ways in which what happens to you is of service. And then you can use these as lessons. But I don't think it's an accident that you're here with me today. I think this is on purpose. Slow your breathing for me. And just take a deep breath in. I still have some of this tea tree on my palms. The spray had some eucalyptus in it. Our spray, our aura mist today. It's very light, airy session. Deep breath in, my dear, and release. And another deep breath in, and release. You're exactly where you're meant to be. There's nothing you're supposed to be doing that you're not doing. There's nothing that you should do that you're not doing. And there's nothing more that you need to do or to be. You are enough. You do enough. You have enough. This scarcity mindset that we can sometimes develop is just a protective mechanism in order for you to prepare for seasons of lack. But it's not serving us anymore. It's not serving us anymore. We don't live in a time when, of hunter-gatherers. If you have the internet and if you're here, that mechanism was not made for the modern world. That mechanism in our brains is not made for the modern world. So it really is about allowing yourself to recognize that there are other people who would look at your, maybe you think of it as a boring, mundane, unworthy life or day, just a boring, nothing kind of day. There are other people who would look at that as a dream day and a dream life. Our brains are so easy to calibrate. They're so quick to calibrate. It's so easy for us to raise our standards, which is good and also not not great as well. Challenging. Because you kind of get so used to a new level. Let's use maybe salary as an example. You're at one salary and then miraculously you get boosted up into another salary bracket. Maybe you get a raise. Maybe you get a new job. Maybe you've taken on a business. Maybe that business is taken off. So you get boosted up into this higher income, let's say. It is so incredible how quickly we adjust to that new level and it becomes low again. I think they did a study about this, about new cars. I'm not really a car person, but I do have a dream car in my mind. But I'm not really a car person, but the study was about that spike in serotonin when you get a new car and the new car smell and you're excited, and that happiness, overall contentment and happiness spiked upon, that purchase of that new car. It spiked for a week and then it went back to baseline, back to the same. Some cases it spiked and then it went down, it dropped. Because what it's really saying is that when we tether our sense of well-being, contentment, peace, joy, happiness to the external, to material, we are always going to come up lacking. The state of homeostasis will always want to be found again. So that means even highs will be kind of brought back to midline, back to that neutrality. So it's if we can find an energy of high vibration, lift, this uplifted, just sort of fluid energy, we can kind of float through life, have the waves, go with the waves, roll with them, move in and out with the tides, observe. As the water gets churned up in a storm, we can be part of that, observing. If we try to anchor and stay, we're going to get really tossed about. Whereas if we're just fluid and light and flowing, there's great wisdom there. And going with the flow. There's a reason that these, platitudes are so popular, because lots of them really resonate. There's a lot of truth behind them. I love going swimming. I'm such a water baby. I'm such a ocean, lake, river. I just love water, pools. I love water, and I go swimming at the lake as often as I can. There's mountains all over. It's just really, really peaceful and beautiful. And I was floating. I like floating on my back and looking up at the clouds. And my partner has a hard time floating. He just struggles to float. So sometimes I'll try. He's always like, "Can you teach me? Teach me your ways of floating in the water." So we're just sort of talking about floating, and I said, okay, just, relax your body. There's certain techniques. I'm a swimmer as well. Grew up swimming lessons and lifeguard and stuff like that. And so I was sort of talking about that, and he said, okay. And I said, all right, let's try again. And he went like this. What's going on here? And he said, oh, why? What am I doing? I was just trying to focus on relaxing. It is kind of counter to what we're accustomed to. We're accustomed to, I do, and then I get a result. But sometimes it's more just about shifting that and opening. We both had a good laugh about that. It's pretty cute. All is well. If you can kind of unclench from any areas of tightness, that's when you can start to notice where that tension that we talk about, that tension, when we say we're going to scan your body and see the areas of tension, blockages and tension, it's really about the strain of trying to make sense of something that's not wholly in alignment with you. It could be a belief, it could be some programming, some kind of idea that you have that diminishes your sense of self-worth, your power, your sense of personal empowerment. So what we want to do in those moments when we recognize the blockage is, instead of going, oh, let's try and pretend it's not there, we'll iron it out. I'll iron it out. Iron out the wrinkles so that they're not visible. If instead we can say, oh, how wonderful. I'm so lucky and grateful that I found the blockage. I'm so lucky and grateful that I found the blockage. Now I can do something about it. Now I can take those disparate areas and kind of bring them into alignment. And that is the path to freedom, the path to peace, to joy, is to look in and say, yeah, I see all this. I see all this. I see all this. I see the way I'm moving. I see it all. And I'm good with it. Because all is well. And out of this, only good will come. And you are a good person. You are kind. And you are compassionate. And you are whole. You are whole and complete. And all is well. I want to do a little bit of clearing. I have our selenite wand here. Just want to clear and cleanse. Starting at the crown and coming down. Good. Crown and moving down. Good. And once more, crown. Let's pull. Is there anything else you want to clear here? You can say it to yourself or aloud, or leave it in the comments below. And release. A little bit more of our eucalyptus. Crown. Heart. Thank you so much for joining me. You are divine. You are connected. You are expressive. You are loved. You are strong. You are creative. You are safe. I'm sending you so much love, so much light, and endless support. if you wanted to become a Reiki practitioner or work with me, I will leave that linked down below and the details for the Labor Day sale. To become my student, to become a Reiki practitioner, and to learn how to do this beautiful self-healing and to heal others. All right, all my love. Take really good care of yourself. Take good care of each other. And until we meet again, be so, so well. Okay. Namaste. Hello, my lovely, lovely patrons. This session is going to be all about just like sending love into the hands. Our palms are these like entry and access points for so many different energies to flow in. So doing Reiki hand massages I find really helpful. So soothing. So I'm just going to be sending this energy towards you. I love using things from nature to send healing energy. You know I love using things like driftwood, stones, all the earthly elements. I love using water as a healing element. Good. So sending that love towards you, and see if you can just maybe breathe it in. Fill yourself up with that gorgeous, loving energy. Imagine the aroma just swirling in and flowing all through your body. Which can be directed and channeled with laser-like precision to help you accomplish tasks and achieve objectives. Cool. This is going to be a really powerful time for you. 2 super empowering cards. You have this fiery energy, and you have like the earth and the roots and the ancestors. It's like star and earth and fire. Find as comfortable a position as you can. Maybe close your eyes. You could lie down, whatever feels right for you. And let's begin today with gratitude. Whatever position you find yourself in, bring to heart one thing for which you are grateful.